Yesterday at the hands of India, ASEAN hopes and attention turned to the Philippines, who are of course making their debut at this level. Now the Azkals come into the tournament as one of the rank outsiders. They could have hardly asked for a tougher introduction to life at Asia's top table, taking on the might of South Korea in their opening match. But the players and their wily old coach Sven-Göran Eriksson, himself a veteran of numerous international tournaments, don't appear to be fazed at all by the size of the task facing them. They're also pretty sanguine about the lack of preparation time they had in the run-up to the tournament, and, as I discovered, they're even taking the loss of their star goalkeeper Neil Etheridge in their stride when I spoke to them the other day.
He's playing a big role for Cardiff, so considering that he is in one of the top, if not the top league at the moment in the world, and just getting a free time for one game, you have to respect, and it makes it decision even bigger that he decided to be left out of the squad and give the other goalkeeper a chance to be there for all three group stages.
Playing in the Premier League is something. If he comes out here, he may, and the second keeper does well, it may be difficult for him to get back in the team. So it was a tough decision for him, very tough decision for him, and we'll miss him because he is a big player for us. But we also have, good players. We've got Michael Fulsgaard and we've got Kevin as well, who can come in.
Two key men there you will see take to the field a little later on as we take a look at the profile of these two teams. Golf in terms of world rankings as well as experience. South Korea 53 in the world versus 116 for the Philippines. The Taeguk Warriors have won the Asian Cup in their 13 appearances twice, but the last time that happened in 1960. They also came within a win of winning title number 3. They lost to Australia, of course, the last time out in 2015. Paulo Bento taking over from Shin Tae-yong after the World Cup, which saw South Korea bow out in the group stage. And of course, the man in question who's taking over the helm of the Philippines the last 2.5 months, it is Sven-Göran Eriksson. Will he be able to lead the Philippines to an upset tonight? Before we move on, let's have a look at the table, the group standings in Group C. We saw the first game this evening between the Kyrgyz Republic. They went down 2-1 to China, which sees China top of the table with 3 points. Robbie, does this change the complexity of this game between Philippines and South Korea? And how will it impact this group going forward?
No, I don't think that result has any really bearing on the group. Obviously, China get off to a great start with 3 points, but I think most people would have expected that tonight. Again, another one-sided affair where you fully expect South Korea to be able to get the better of Philippines. If we have a bit of a look forward to match day 3, I think this match up here between Kyrgyz Republic and Philippines is probably the one that's going to decide third place. And Coach, if you were Sven-Göran Eriksson, what would you be hoping for your Philippines side in this group?
I think first it is a big achievement from the Philippines to be there. First or second time since how many centuries?
It's been some time.
Many years. But now at the moment, you have to know that we lost the 3 preparation matches. Mm-hmm. 3 times again we're done. It means preparation in the AFF Cup, then you want preparation for this tournament, and the last to play against in Doha against Vietnam, a friendly, they lost 2-4. Means they lost 3 matches en suite. This is of course very difficult for them now to get a breeze to come out, because when you play against Korea, probably it will be very difficult for them.
Of course, it is still a fairy tale story, this one of the Philippines. I mean, 10 years ago, they were hardly figuring anywhere close to playing in a tournament such as the Asian Cup. Well, one man who's been following the Philippines story is our correspondent, Dan Openshappen, and he filed this report.
For the first time in the football history of the Philippines, the Azkals find themselves dining at Asia's top table. By contrast, coach Sven-Göran Eriksson is a veteran of international tournaments and is under no illusions as to the size of the task facing his side.
We are not the favourite to win the tournament, far away I would say. We are maybe not even the favourite to go through the group stage, but that's what we want to try to do, so I look forward to it. It's a different world, but so far I like it.
The Swede took charge of the Philippines just before the 2018 Suzuki Cup. Now more familiar with his squad, he sees plenty that he likes.
The spirit in the team, and they're focused on football. They can put all the other problems behind them and go in and do the job. Our team is not bad. We haven't been together for a long time, and that's a pity, of course. But hopefully we will be a surprise.
Preparations for the tournament have been far from ideal, with their Asian Cup training camp starting just a week before the tournament began, and with some players joining the squad just days before their opening match.
You hear about other teams' preparations. I think Vietnam only had 3 or 4 days off. You saw teams, the Middle Eastern teams. They've been in this part. They've been playing games since mid-December. So we've only had 1 game. So it's not. It's not been the ideal preparation, but it never really is. We've always had some hurdles and obstacles and challenges to get past by, and it's no different this time. So I think a lot of the players are used to it by now. But I think what will get us through is our team's fighting spirit, our togetherness, and hopefully that will come through in the game on the 7th.
The Azkals could hardly face a tougher opening match, taking on the might of South Korea. Despite being heavy underdogs, the squad isn't overawed.
It's more excitement than being nervous. There's no reason. It's the same game, 11v11, and we are ready to put in our performance.
With a Filipino population of some 450,000 living in Dubai where the match takes place, it's sure to feel like a home game for the Azkals.
Huge. Of course, we need every support we can. If the Filipinos show up, it will be really great. But we're not depending on the crowd. We depend on the 11 plus 6, 7 on the bench, and then that's it.
Erkan Shakin, Fox Sports, Dubai.
Yeah, really looking forward to seeing the support for the Philippines out there in Dubai. It is no doubt that the Philippines will go into this match as real major underdogs. But Alfred, they say that anything can happen in football. Can you see the Philippines getting anything out of this match?
Anything can happen in football, but not today in this match. I don't believe this. For me, they are less than underdog. Because what you have to know, there are 6 teams only in the Philippines, and most of the players play in Philippines, and the other one cannot bring this power to the national team. This experience and so on. They cannot bring it because they are not playing in top teams. But of course, they will bring some help, but not more.
Yeah, I have to agree with Coach. I think it's a very, very one-sided affair. If you look at the history of this fixture, I think 7 or 8 meetings, Korea have scored 35 goals and conceded none. Now, I know that was against very different players in a different time for Philippines football, but I just wonder if the message from Sven is just to go out there, enjoy yourself, enjoy the occasion, make it as difficult as you can for the opposition, and just enjoy being part of such a wonderful tournament.
So a rather pessimistic view from our pundits regarding the Philippines and their chances against South Korea tonight in this Group C match in Dubai. We're going to take a short break now, but when we come back, we'll have for you the team lineups, team news, and we'll speak to some Filipino fans as well in the Philippines.
Schrock from the Philippines, and you watching the AFC 2019 Asian Cup on Fox Sports.
Yes, that was Stefan Schrock, 32 years of age, a midfielder for the Philippines, and he will be one of the key men involved in tonight's game against South Korea. We're expecting to see quite a big turnout of Filipino supporters tonight as they cheer on their team in what will be a baptism of fire for them against the two-time champion South Korea, who of course won this in 1956 and 1960. The team lists are out, and we've got some team news for you as well. So for more on that, let's head over to Dan Ovenchak in the UAE.
Thanks very much for joining me once again, Colette. We're now inside the Al Maktoum Stadium here in Dubai, where we're moments away from the Philippines' debut at the AFC Asian Cup. We have some team news for you, and we're going to start with our opponents today, South Korea, where coach Paulo Bento, perhaps with the previous results in mind, Australia losing to Jordan and the United Arab Emirates drawing Bahrain, he's picked a very strong side in a bid to try and avoid any upsets. It seems to be a 4-2-3-1 formation. We'll start at the back in goal with Kim Seung-gyu, who's regained his #1 spot. Lee Yong, Kim Min-jae, Kim Young-gwon, the captain, and Kim Jin-soo make up that back four. Into midfield, Ki Sung-young of Newcastle United, who today wins his 110th cap, and he's put with Young-woo Young of Al Sadd. An attacking trio of Lee Jae-sung, 3 goals and 6 assists in the Bundesliga Zwei this season, Ka Ju-cho of Augsburg, and Hwang Hee-chan. And up front, the man tasked with getting the goals is Hwang Wee-jo, 16 in 27 J-League games for Gamba Osaka. And a bit of experience on the bench, Ji Dong-won and Lee Chung-yong, both of course who play in Germany. For the Philippines, Sven-Göran Eriksson appears to have gone with a rather adventurous 4-3-3 formation. Again, in goal, Michael Foxgaard. He's winning his 7th cap. He's the man who's been tasked to replace Neil Etheridge of Cardiff City, who's remaining with them. A back four of Luke Woodland, who was actually born here in the United Arab Emirates. Alvaro, 30-year-old, Stephen Palla, and Daisuke Sato at left back. Trio in midfield of Kevin Ingresso, Manny, John Patrick Strauss. And then up front, the man again, men also tasked with getting the goals for the Azkals, Patrick Reichelt, Javier Patino, who has 6 in 14 appearances for his country, and Stefan Schrock, the captain, will be the man they'll be looking to for some inspiration. Kick-off now is just moments away. We'll go back to you in the studio.
Thanks very much, Dan Ovenchak, and speak to us there from Dubai. Interesting to see the young husband starting this match on the bench. I'd like to bring in Robbie and Alfred for our next discussion on tactical battles. Gentlemen, where do you think this will be won and lost, Robbie?
Well, certainly in the midfield, a lot of games are dictated in the midfield, and I think Philippines have gone for a very youthful midfield to try to keep up with the likes of Kuja Chol, who's going to spend a lot of his time up and around this central area. Hwang Hee-jo, who's been in red hot form for Gamba Osaka, is going to make life as difficult as possible for Alvaro Silva and Palla. And this man here, Lee Jae-sung, he's a real key. Spends a lot of time out on this right-hand side, but it's got a fantastic left foot, and expect to see him drift inside as well and look to link up. The man here, Key from Newcastle in English Premier League, he's probably going to look to anchor that midfield. And we're going to see numbers getting forward. Hwang Hee-chan as well. Look to put as much pressure as they can on this back four, back five at times from Philippines. How do you think Philippines are going to cope with this much attacking talent?
Yeah, of course they will face difficulties, there's no question. But I believe that they cannot play like this. I think they have maximum 1 striker in front. I believe either Reichelt or Patino will come back in the midfield. Maybe offensive from 5.
You'd like to see some of these guys drop in here and make it as compact as possible.
Yes, I believe this. We will have no other possibilities, I believe.
So this is a very similar pattern to what we've seen in other games. Do you think Philippines have seen the game plan to get something out of this game from all the other games we've seen in the tournament?
Yeah, but you saw you have already the coach and so on. They have not this confidence when they go in this match against such a big opponent.
So it really sounds like it's going to be an uphill battle for the Philippines, but I'm sure the fans will be right behind them at the Al Maktoum Stadium in Dubai. But what about the fans back home in the Philippines? How are they responding to this very first match the Philippines are going to play in the AFC Asian Cup? Well, let's find out. Standing by in Manila is Ed Russell. Ed, tell us, what is the atmosphere like in Manila?
Oh, it's fantastic. Fantastic, Colette. It's very good to see you. You can probably hear the atmosphere behind me. I know you said you're excited to see the fans in the stadium. There are plenty here. We're at Kublai's Rock in Makati in Manila. Plenty of Azkals fans behind me, and I'm joined by one standing next to me, Jerry. Jerry, the Philippines are into the Asian Cup for the very first time. What does this mean to football in this country?
This means a real lot for football fans here in the Philippines, because we've been really expecting a lot for our country to be like a football match-based country, because we've been like a basketball fanatic country. Right now, we just want to have a great time in the Asian Cup, and we would want the country to do good, because when the national team do good, it would be a great promotion for the football in the country, in the Philippines.
I know you've been following the Azkals for a while. I'm not going to ask how long, because I don't want to tell everybody how old you are, but is this one of the strongest Philippine squads you've ever seen?
This is actually one of the strongest team, I mean, minus Neil Etheridge, but this is one of the best and one of the most strongest, more experienced players team that we have to go to a tournament like this.
You mentioned experience. Phil Younghusband isn't starting. Stefan Schott's captaining. What do you make of the 11 that Sven's chosen today?
I think Sven is going for a more attacking team right now. But you know how Sven makes his team. You know, it changes a lot during before the matches, like what he did with Aguinaldo and Smulders a few hours ago. He removed Smulders from the lineup and put Aguinaldo. So I think he's going to do something really big, maybe during the halftime, maybe try to study the Koreans and how they do, because you know probably the Koreans already know how Phil plays. So he's probably putting on Patino in, and will probably be more of a tactic on Sven Göransson's side.
Well, everybody here in Manila is very excited to see how the Philippines go in their first match of the Asian Cup. For now, Colette, back to you.
Thank you very much, Ed Russell, speaking to us from Manila, in a place which is brimming with excitement. They are keen to get this match up and running. It is the Philippines against South Korea. It's a real uphill battle for the Azkals, but can they hold their own against the mighty Tega Warriors? But we've got lots of football to come tonight. This is the second of today's 3 games. The first half kickoff is up next.
Love cars? If you love it, find a way to own it. Own the car you've always wanted. Go to BDO and apply for an auto loan now.
Some websites require so many steps. Click here, select that. What? I have to sign up? And what's with all these pop-ups? And now they tell me it's fully booked. What a waste of time. All I really want is a good 4-star hotel with Wi-Fi, a spa, and to have Boris with me. Simply go to Trivago and type in what you want. It's that easy. Thank God. Hotel Trivago.
If blue is your colour, then take a trip to Stamford Bridge. For views, results, and all the news, Chelsea TV on Fox Sports.
Welcome along to Fox Sports coverage of the AFC Asian Cup 2019 as Group C continues this evening. We are tonight at the Al Maktoum Stadium in Dubai. You can see there fans from the Philippines, fans from South Korea as well. Flags both countries being waved inside this 15,000-seater stadium. This is home to Al Nasser in the Arabian Gulf League. Now this is a real David and Goliath tie, as I mentioned before. South Korea, they've made it to the World Cup semi-finals up against the Philippines, who have never played at this level before, a level of the AFC Asian Cup. Now with me this evening, Robbie Goldthwait and Alfred Wheel in the studio. We mentioned that South Korea have only eyes on the trophy. They are the heavy favorites to win this game. Is it important that they get an early goal against the Philippines? Robbie?
Yeah, I mean, it's always important to get a goal early and try to open things up, but I think the golfing class between these sides is going to be shown tonight, and I think South Korea are going to want to put a marker down. There's been a lot of upsets, as we mentioned, and really show everyone how strong they are. I hope there's something for the Filipino fans in Manila. Jerry and the fans there look like the place to be. So hopefully they can grab themselves a goal, but I can only see a one-sided affair, if I'm honest.
Yeah, we saw there James Younghusband and his brother Phil Younghusband. They'll be starting on the bench tonight. Sven-Göran and Eriksson tries to eke out something for the Philippines. Alfred, he's only been at the helm for 2.5 months. He joined them in October. Probably not able to do too much with this team. But what do you think he has brought to them in this short time?
You know, a coach with the name from Eriksson brings some confidence to the players, despite the only. It was a good result in the AFF Cup and they reached the semi-final, right? It's not bad. But I'm not surprised that they don't bring Phil Younghusband because he was all the last matches the captain, and the first match in this cup they don't bring him. Either he wants to have young players, fast players for counter-attacks, or the guy is injured. I have no, of course we don't know exactly, but I'm surprised about it.
So young players on the field tonight, opting instead to rest some of the players maybe who might be a bit fatigued following the AFF Suzuki Cup. The teams now just walking out onto the pitch. One mention, Neil Etheridge, of course, he has remained in Cardiff City. He could have played in tonight's match, but the team has opted to leave him behind in Cardiff instead. I wonder what kind of impact that will have. Let's have a listen to the national anthems of the respective teams, after which your commentators will take over. Brenton Speed and Andy Harper.
Korea Republic.
أصحاب السمو، أصحاب السعادة، السيدات والسادة، من فضلكم استعدوا لسماع النشيد الوطني لمنتخب جمهورية كوريا.